Here we go. All ones. Today we're going to be cooking gumbo. What you're going to need for gumbo is Trinity. This is 1 onion, 1 bell pepper, and 3 celery sticks chopped up really small. Garlic, chicken. I've got chicken thighs that I've chopped up really small, boneless. Some andouille sausage. I made this myself. Some shrimp. You also want to take the shrimp shells and you don't want to throw those away. You want to make some shrimp stock out of that. You're going to need some Cajun seasoning. This is my homemade Cajun seasoning. It does not have salt, so if you're using Tony's Saturays, you probably don't want to add salt, which is something I'm going to be adding in. Some bay leaf, some filet powder, all-purpose flour, and some cooking oil. You're also going to want some okra, which through editing magic, I added right here. Due to where I live, I can't get fresh okra, so I'm going to have to use frozen okra. And I'll show you how to get the slime out of your okra when you make your gumbo. So what we're going to do here is we're going to season our chicken. You just mix it up in there. Oh, I almost forgot. We're going to throw just a little bit of oil in there. Let it warm up while we season our chicken. Just need enough to really kind of just barely cover it up, not much. There's no such thing as over seasoning in Cajun cooking anyway. And there you go. And you take this, bring it over there, and you do some browning. What you want from this is you really want it to kind of stick on the bottom and kind of get some of that grotto browning in there, which will add flavor to everything later. So we're just going to let it sit like that for a little bit. Just a little update while I'm browning all this. Kind of see how it's kind of cooking and getting some of the chicken juices out of the meat. That's what we really want. It'll bring more flavor to everything. So once the chicken's almost done, you're going to want to throw in your sausage. A lot of the oil from this will help make our roux even more flavorful, because we're going to pull out this meat once it's done. Fingers. So, yep, just let it sit and let it brown for a little bit, render out those fats, and after that we're going to make a roux. So, got all this done. You see how much oil and grease is in there? We're going to have to kick all the meat out. You want to save all that grease. That's going to be the main basis for our roux here. I'll come back and show you. Alright, now that we have all that out, I didn't quite get as much oil as I really wanted, so I'm going to add just a little bit of cooking oil. Mix that up. And throw in your flour. You want to do about equal parts flour to grease or oil. You also use butter. It's a little bit more. You get a richer roux when you use oil or butter. So yeah, I put in too much flour there. Watch me mess up a roux. There we go. You're gonna get it kind of like a paste. And with a gumbo, you want a really, really dark roux. The lighter the roux, the more thickening you'll have, and the darker the roux, the more flavor you'll have. So from here, I'm just going to show you how I make this roux from all the way through. So it'll be a while. I'm on a medium heat right now. And you never, ever, ever walk away from a roux. So while we're sitting here waiting for this, I'm also going to turn my oven on bake. You'll see why when I do my special thing with the okra. You want to do 250 degrees. So while we have the roux going, you just take your okra. I normally use a cookie sheet, but I'm currently remodeling my kitchen, so we're going to use a cast iron pan. You just take it and you throw them in the oven. Put it in there for probably about 20-25 minutes. Just let them kind of warm up and dry out. And it'll get all the slime out. We'll come back over here to our roux. It's starting to turn a little red, which is good. I'll come back with as it changes color, noticeably changes color, I'll show you kind of what it looks like as we go. We're starting to get a caramel color on our roux right now, so I wanted to show you this. This is not dark enough for a gumbo, as a dark roux is one of the most important things about a gumbo, but you could use this as, say, an etouffee. So we're going to go a little darker, a lot darker on this. We're going to want a good coffee color. Now you can see that it's darkened up a bit. We're starting to get from the caramel to the coffee color roux. We're still not dark enough, as you need a really dark roux for gumbo, and I can't stress that enough. So you see somebody with a blonde roux in their gumbo, throw it in their face. All right, we're right about where I want the roux to be. It's a really nice dark coffee color. This will give, like I said, kind of more of a nutty flavor to your roux, which you want, or to your gumbo, which you want. And what I like to do here, and this will still kind of cook a little bit when I do this, and darken up your roux a little bit more, is throw your Trinity in. Cook your Trinity in your roux. Some people cook it on the side, some people cook it in there. It's all up to you. You do you, I'll do me. Also, my mood changes, and I do it this way sometimes and do it other ways different times. Mix that up really well. For the most part, it will stop cooking the roux when you do this, but it'll still cook it just a little. Throw a little salt in to help your vegetables get translucent or see-through. Right about here, you don't throw the garlic in until the onion starts getting a little see-through. Otherwise your garlic will get a little bitter. Get all that in there. And once you start smelling garlic, you're done. And that roux is pretty much like napalm, so when you throw it in, it cooks this real fast. What we're going to do is we're going to take the homemade seafood stock, shrimp stock. We're going to add that. See if I can do this without messing up the camera. And throw your meat in from earlier. Do not throw the shrimp in yet, otherwise they'll get rubbery and small. So you just want enough to kind of cover up everything and mix it together. Break up that roux. Break up that roux so it will thicken up this entire dish. Let it simmer for a few hours. Get all those flavors out of there. Throw in some Cajun seasoning. Throw in some filet. Throw in some bay leaf. Mix that together. Traditionally, in the old days, they used to do either filet or okra to thicken help thicken the gumbo and add flavor. Depending upon what season, if it was during the winter, you would do filet. During the summer, you'd do okra when it was in season and growing. But due to the abilities of modern technology, we can do both, and it's delicious. So I'll be adding that here in just a second. So give it a little taste. Yep, needs a little salt. So add some salt to it. That Cajun seasoning is kind of just an all-in-one seasoning, so you don't really need to add much else. We're going to let this cook, let it simmer on a low heat for quite a few, probably 2-3 hours. Over here, we're going to take our okra out. So it's just kind of cook the slime out is all you need to do. Oh, that's hot. Got the okra. Throw the okra in. Just mix her in. And baking it like that will cook all that slime out of the okra. So I had a little technical difficulty. I put the shrimp in just a second ago, but I didn't hit record. So you want to put shrimp in right before you're ready to serve, so just enough time to let the shrimp cook. And over here I have some rice, white rice that I cooked in the leftover shrimp broth. And yeah, now we're just letting it let it simmer a little bit. I'm going to turn up the heat. I let it simmer for about 3 hours. Really let all this everything cook down and cook out and get all those flavors in there. So once the shrimp's done and I'm ready to serve, I will come back and show you. It has cooked a little bit. The shrimp have got cooked. You can kind of see the consistency. This is the kind of consistency that you want in a gumbo, nice and thick. Should be a hearty, slow cooked stew. So all you do is take some rice. And put it on your food. And there you go. That is a good bowl of gumbo. I'm going to take a bite of it now. Mmm. Very good.